What is up, my friends? David Moss Jr. here, and behind me is the Sunhome Cold Plunge Pro. This is a brand new ice generating cold plunge to the scene. I'm real excited to be the first person to show it to you and review this product. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump right into it. And hey, after today's video, if you decide you want to get yourself a Sunhome Cold Plunge Pro or any of their other cold plunges, red light therapy devices, or saunas, I will pop a special discount code and link down in the description below for you to check out. So there is a lot to open up and talk about here, and before we do that, I want to talk about the specifications real quick. It is currently listed at $94.99, and once again, you can use discount code MAUS, that's M-A-U-S, and it'll save you a great amount of money. It is pretty heavy. This weighs right around 400 pounds without water. But the cool thing is it came in a really nice crate on these really heavy duty casters and wheels. So I was able to unbox it with a friend, pull it out of the crate and wheel it back here, fill it up with water and plug it in. It is plug and play. It is indoor and outdoor rated, which is great. The exterior has a UV and rust resistant material, which I'm super impressed with the overall build of this. I was not expecting this at all. And there's a couple other little hidden secrets that I didn't really know until I had it, and I'm really excited to go over with you. And I know I'll be the only one going over these with you because I had a really cool detailed call with their tech support, and I wanted to learn everything about this thing. And now I can share it with you. So at first glance, when you look at the front, a couple things to point out. This is your LED touchscreen, and this is your control panel. This is very easy to operate, and there are some really cool features you could play around with on that. But most importantly, really the only thing you're gonna ever have to do on this screen is adjust the temperatures by pressing the up and down buttons or turning the lights on. Now they do have a really nice LED light inside the plunge, which sets up a really nice ambiance when you're plunging at night or in the evening or early in the morning. But also there's a really nice underlighting underneath the entire thing that lights up the ground, and it just creates a unique experience that I have yet to see in any cold plunges on the market. This is Sunhome's symbol, but it's also ventilation on both sides, because inside this half of this cold plunge is where all of the components are that generate ice, that cool your water, and that clean your water. Now we're gonna talk about it in a little more detail later on, but there is a 3-stage cleaning process that happens automatically in this cold plunge. First, you have a built-in circulation pump, which keeps water moving so you don't have any stagnant water. Then you have a 20 micron filter, which cleans the debris out. Next, you have an ozone injection, and then a UV sanitization light. 3 stages, keeping your water super clean. Very impressive. On this left side is where the actual tub is. So we're gonna go and just take this lid off. I do like that it comes with an insulated lid that keeps the water really cold. It also keeps the rim around the edge nice and cool. Because it is a black exterior, it does get hot. I'm here in Florida. To the touch, the outside is pretty hot. The stool also that it comes with can get kind of hot. All you have to do is spray it off with water and it gets cooled down really quickly. But I like having the lid because when you put your arms in here, your hands on the edging to get in, I've noticed that it does not get too hot. It actually doesn't get hot at all. It's still nice and cold. Now the inside tub is an industrial stainless steel, and it holds 150 gallons of water. So there's a lot of area inside here. I'm able to fully dunk extremely easy. Everyone who's been able to jump in this, I say been able to because we've had it down to 27 degrees Fahrenheit with ice floating in here. Everyone who got in here was very easily able to dunk underwater, which was a cool experience to do under floating ice. And because this lid is cut right down the middle, you can actually keep it on this half. You don't ever have to take it off when you're plunging. It keeps the debris, it keeps things out of your water when you're not using it, which is cool. But if you do want to take it off, which I'll take it off for the rest of this video, it's very lightweight and very easy to just take off and set off to the side. And now you can see the entire plunge without the lid. So these are the hardest things to film because, as you can tell, they're like a mirror, so you see me back here. But I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. It's super simple. As soon as you plug it in, fill it up with water and turn it on, which it should automatically just turn on. If it doesn't, just press the power button, it's gonna turn on. It's gonna start doing its thing. It's gonna run through its own cycle. So the only thing you'll have to do is adjust the temperature. I read if you set it to 27, 28 degrees, which I currently have it on, it's gonna keep this automatic cycle of generating ice, which is awesome. Now, I was also playing around with it yesterday where you can raise the temperature up to 39 degrees or higher if you don't want it this cold. And it's still an incredible, luxurious cold plunge that keeps your water any temperature that you want it. But if you want that floating ice, set it at 27, 28 degrees, and it's gonna do this perfect cycle and give you a nice inch of floating ice in your cold plunge, which is awesome. They also use whisper chill technology, so as you can hear, I have my microphone right next to it, and It is super quiet. Compared to a lot of the other cold plunges on the market, this is one of the quietest that I've ever played with. And for it to be as powerful as it is, I'm really impressed with that. This will also automatically do a defrost feature, which is where the ice on the side of the walls and on the bottom of the plunge will actually detach from the walls so they float, which is really cool. You don't see that in a lot of the other ice generating cold plunges. And then like I mentioned earlier, there's a 3-stage filtration process, which it will automatically do, running that water through a 20 micron filter, then through ozone, and then also through a UV sanitization light. It does all that automatically. You don't have to press any buttons on here. All you have to do is set your temperature, and then when you want to, press the light button, and that'll turn on your under lighting and then your cold plunge lighting. It's the daytime, so I'm gonna turn that off. So if you're looking at the plunge, on the right side is actually where your access is gonna be to everything. You take this little cover off, and then you can see everything inside here, and this is where everything is working. A couple things to just note, obviously while it's on, you wanna be careful, you don't wanna touch anything. Danger, electric shock risk, so I'm gonna be careful. When you look at this white box here, this is actually your circuit breaker for the entire plunge. So when you're ready to change your filter or you wanna do anything in here, you wanna just look in here, all you do is press this little test button. It's gonna turn everything off. And then check this out. There's these 4 little hand screws right here. This is the cool thing, because if you're looking, you're like, I can't get back there. There's like no room, right? There's these 4 little hand screws that they put on here. So you take these out, and then this whole entire set is on a swivel and will swivel completely out of your way. So when you want to change your filter or check anything back here, you have easy access in here to everything, which is super cool. And there's not too much to talk about under here that I want to really point out, but you can see everything. If you need any access or if you need anything fixed, you can see everything really clearly. You do have your filters right here, and you are going to want to change those out. You know, once a month, twice a month. It's a filter, so they are going to do their job. All you'll do is you can just reach in here, you can unscrew it with your hand, or it does come with a wrench, which makes it really easy to unscrew. There's also gonna be 2 points, one over here and then one at the bottom there, where you're gonna shut off the water, and that'll prevent water from inside your plunge from making its way into the filter while you are changing it. Another cool thing you can see at the bottom is the condensation drip tray, and then you can see the line coming out the back where the water is flowing out, which is cool. So you could legitimately have this inside a really nice house or apartment on flooring you don't want to get wet, and it won't drip water on your floor. And then once you're done changing your filter or playing around in here, you just swivel this back all the way on here, attach your 4 little hand screws, and then flip your breaker back on, put your cover back on, make sure it's snapped in place, you're good to go. And then one of my favorite things to do is measure it. While I have the lid off, I'll go ahead and do the full measurements. Now this is all you need. There's no exterior chillers or any exposed tubing or anything. The only thing there is on the back side here is the plug to plug it in. It just takes 12 amps. That's all you need for this whole thing. And there is a drip line for condensation. So if you are gonna have this inside, it condensates just like any cold plunge will, but it catches it all, and there's an exterior drip line, so you could just put a pan or a bowl underneath it and collect that water. So you can have this indoors, which is really nice. So it is 79 inches long. The exterior width is 33.5 inches wide. And then I'm gonna measure it from the casters, which are these wheels at the bottom, all the way to the top. And that puts you just at 34 inches off the ground. Overall, it's a pretty big setup, but it's a complete rectangle box and it looks really nice. Now let's talk about the internal dimensions. You have 47 inches of length, just under 29 inches in width, and then from the bottom, about 27.5 inches. Once again, can hold 150 gallons of water, and it makes for a pretty large and luxurious tub. One thing I really like too is they make it super automated and really easy for you to just buy it, put it where you want it, fill it up with water, plug it in, and it does its thing. Like, I was kind of concerned that there was gonna be a lot of settings and there was gonna be a lot of pressing buttons and there was gonna be a lot of maintenance on this. They made it really user-friendly, which is not the case for every cold plunge on the market, which I really do like. I like that it has a self-primer. You don't have to worry about anything. Once again, you just fill it up with water and turn it on and it does its thing for you. And then if you're looking at the back side here, down here at the bottom is that clear tubing, and that is that condensation drip line. Or once again, if you have it outside, it doesn't really matter too much, but if you do have it inside, you can put a bowl underneath it or a cup, catch that water and obviously drain it out so you don't have water dripping on your floor. The cool thing is it catches it, which isn't the case on all of them. Then the back over here is also where your power cord comes from, and you do have 9.5 feet of cord, plugs right into any standard wall outlet, and all you need is 12 amps to run this entire thing and generate floating ice. So we've talked about the price, we've talked about the specs, we've talked about a lot of the exterior. Now I'm gonna get inside it and kind of share my experience. Now it is currently 33 degrees, so this will be my coldest talking cold plunge ever. So bear with me if I am not able to get the words out perfectly, but I'm gonna do this because I really think it's important for you to see how I fit inside this so that you can also make a determination if this is the perfect ice bath cold plunge for you or not. All right, let's get in it. Ooh, see, it's already starting to generate ice again. Oh shoot, that is so cool. So as you can see, I'm 6'1", I'm 205 pounds, and there is so much room in here. It is such a comfortable ice bath, cold plunge. And if you're somebody who wants that next level floating icy bath that can get below freezing, this is really the cold plunge for you. I didn't think I was gonna be as impressed with this as I am. I'm very impressed. The build is premium. It is premium as it gets. Industrial grade, it is solid, insulated, it holds the temperature. Freaking impressed. I mean, obviously I know it's a pretty expensive investment, but if you're an athlete or if you're somebody who wants to take your recovery or your ice baths to that next level and you have a space that can fit this, I definitely would recommend it. I have been very impressed from the time I started talking to them to the time it came, to even just yesterday when I had an hour-long conversation with their tech team walking through how everything works perfectly. It's so hard to talk. Oh, that's a different cold. So there's a couple things I realized that I definitely want to touch on. Now with this floating ice generator, so it is a process that you do have to be a little bit patient with. It's not going to just create ice in 5 minutes and then float it. So obviously, as you can tell, I don't have any floating ice during this video. I've been really trying to play this weather out. I live in Florida and it has been raining a ton. So in the morning time, typically I do have a really nice floating ice, but once again, yesterday I started messing around with the temperature because you can change this. It doesn't have to be a floating ice bath unless you absolutely want it, but you can adjust it to literally any temperature that you want. And yesterday I was playing around with the temperature. I raised it up into the high 40s for my kids to get in it and enjoy it. And it was really fun for them to be able to get into this as well. And it does change really fast, which is cool. But on the ice, what I really think is cool is I was afraid that when it generated that big sheet of ice, I was gonna have to get like a hammer and chop it up so I could get in. Well, the way it generates ice, it actually generates it in a pattern to where it breaks by hand very easily. So it will come up in a full sheet, and all you have to do is just crack it very simply. You can see some bubble lines inside the ice, which make it very easy to break it up and have chunks of ice instead of just a massive sheet that you can't get through. And if you've ever taken an ice bath somewhere where it's really thick ice and you have to chip it up, you know what I'm talking about. If you're like me and you're from Florida, you probably have no idea what that means. Just know that when it is generating ice and you do want to risk it, jump in that really cold water, it's easy to break the ice apart even when it's under 30 degrees. And if you had any questions about the warranty, it does come with a 1-year warranty and you can purchase a 3 and a 5-year extension if that's something that you want. And then I do want to point out the casters at the bottom because I didn't really touch on it too much and I think it's important. I was a little bit nervous that when I was taking it out of the crate, it was going to break. The entire bottom of this thing is built really, really well, and those casters and wheels at the bottom also have a little rubber guard that you screw and it actually lowers this rubber guard down. So it's on wheels, yes, but it's not gonna just roll around on accident. You obviously lock it in place by lowering down those rubber guards, and they're extremely heavy duty. I'm super impressed. Once again, I think I've said it 5 times. I'm really impressed with Sunhome on this Cold Plunge Pro. You guys built a great system here. I'm real excited to have it out here. This is one of my new babies. I'll be taking ice baths on a regular basis. And at this point, I do want to say, if you have any questions that I didn't go over in this video, if there's anything you need to know, please pop it down in the comments below. If you want to talk to me personally, reach out to me on Instagram. A lot of people do. It's at @dmossjr. I'll pop that up as well. Feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions that you might have. And then if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and like this. I put a lot of effort into my content. I want to make sure that I put the best information out there for all of my viewers and for you. So just make sure you let me know that this video didn't suck by hitting like. That also helps YouTube share this video with other people who are looking for this type of information. And then once again, I want to mention, if you do decide you want to get yourself a Sunhome Cold Plunge Pro or any of their other cold plunges, red light therapy devices, or saunas, they have a really great selection of products, and my discount code will work on all of them. Once again, that'll be down in the description below. Hey, I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, and God bless. But hey, before you go, make sure you check out this video next. I think you'll like it. YouTube thinks you'll like it. The algorithm thinks you'll like it. So just click on this video now and check it out.